Hey, I only just turned the system on and we're already seeing women in bathing suits. But what a way to encourage you to drive faster. This is Super Monaco Grand Prix for the SEGA Genesis or Mega Drive, depending on where you are in the world. This is probably my most favourite game for the system, and back in the day I was hooked to it. Not because of the beautiful 16-bit pixel women though, to be honest with you. Okay, I wasn't being truly honest with you, but overall this game is simply awesome. There are two main parts to Super Monaco Grand Prix. You've got the Super Monaco GP mode, which is essentially the arcade mode, hence the title of the game. We also have the World Championship mode, which is the core of this game. This review is coming to you in two parts, starting with the Super Monaco GP mode. As you've seen already, you start out by qualifying for the Grand Prix, and your position is dependent on how well you must perform in the race itself. You're racing in Monaco, or what looks to be a modified version of Monaco in this mode, which is interesting because there is a variant based on the real world track in the World Championship mode and free practice mode. There is also the Japanese track, which is another real world track known as the Suzuka circuit. You race on the same course throughout the arcade mode, two different types of track. The first one you race on is dry condition and the second is wet condition. As you can see, I'm above the position limit, which did get me pole position overall, but unfortunately I'm nowhere near as good at this game as I was back in the day. I could blame the fact that I was playing it like a driving simulator such as Gran Turismo. It's more of an arcade game, and since you're using Formula 1 cars, there isn't much of a need to follow a racing line or brake hard in places. I did find myself either underestimating or overestimating some corners. Sadly, you don't get any driver's points for running into the man at the finishing line, but it seemed mandatory for me to do so. At least you maintain your position if you do, however it does take you off the high score tables. As you can see now, we're on the wet condition of the track, which is essentially the same track as the one previously, only the handling is more difficult to control It's nothing too difficult. There are no major differences, but they are noticeable. I guess this can be considered as a playthrough / review since I'm taking you through the entire arcade mode here. But as I said before, the World Championship is the core of this game. Join us in part 2 where we'll be looking at the World Championship mode in depth along with some other courses available in this game. Believe it or not, there are also more cars to choose from, and imagine that choose from bit in quotes. There is a catch, you'll find out in part 2. Meanwhile, I'm leaving you with the theme of Monaco and a blunder.